Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where I'm going to finally get Elden Ring today, but I'll probably have no time to play it because of my weekly D&D game. That's both great and sucks at the same time. I'm also worried about playing it because I am not good at a Souls game. Today we are covering Action Comic Books number 42, Empire City in the Sky. A very similar to the last issue kind of story, seeing that this is a city in the sky versus a city that exists under the ground. And similar in a lot of ways, but almost kind of like a perfect B Superman story, or as perfect as a 1940s Superman story is going to get, though it still has its problems, so I can't really call it a perfect Superman story. Though, God, is it close. This story doesn't start off all that different from several other Superman stories, or just like an average Superman story. Opening, several prominent people have gone missing. Clark is sent to go investigate on this, report on it. He's unable to get close to the families at all due to the security, but with his X-ray vision and sensitive hearing, still called sensitive hearing, he's able to hear from one of the families that they're about to pay a $50,000 ransom. So he follows that money and then follows the mobster who takes the money and confronts him. The mobster knows absolutely nothing. He was just told by his boss to collect the money. As soon as he reveals this, the clouds kind of gather and a beam of light shoots from them, hitting him and causing him to explode. This is where the art, which when it comes to depicting, figures and like the cities, it's pretty great. Like Superman looks really good, almost like a Jack Burnley Superman. But there is some sort of confusion in the way it tells the story. We have some problems with the general Siegel problem of there not being enough time or enough panels to tell a story how it needs to be told. So instead of depicting things, we get narrations to deal with what can't be depicted in the amount of time they have. And this kind of comes across here as like the beam of light shoots down, then you don't really see it hit anybody, and there's just like an explosion. So they could have not been in that. That could have been just a threat they had seen, but Superman mentions he's dead. Also, Superman doesn't save somebody. I don't like that. Traditionally, do not like it when he's letting people die. He then goes, sees the mob boss. The mob boss doesn't know anything either. And as soon as he starts talking, beam of light, explosion. This one's way more clear that it hits the guy. So Superman's got two guys killed. I know they're mobsters, but still, he shouldn't be letting them die. Jump in front of the beam of light. See if it explodes you. The explosions aren't hurting him. He's just kind of flying out of them. Clark gives up for the day and decides to go to sleep. That's when two men enter his room and try to chloroform him. That doesn't work on Superman, so Clark just plays dead, well, asleep here, and lets them carry him off to their aero gyro, which once again, as like the other aero gyros that's ever brought up in Superman, they just seem to be like helicopters with airplane wings. They take him to a city in the sky, which you think Superman would have been able to find if he just flew up into the sky to check on where these clouds and beams of light are coming from. And this is Empire City. It's this interesting, slightly futuristic city, kind of like an Asgard, though more futuristic, not Viking futuristic as Asgard. It's led by a man named Zeitel. It doesn't really matter how that name is pronounced due to the twist that's coming up. Zeitel claims to be coming in peace, a seeker of knowledge, as I believe he puts it. He's basically going around from planet to planet, taking great thinkers to create sort of this perfect society. Sort of like a nicer Brainiac, and even with the killing of people, that's still a nicer Brainiac. Brainiac destroys an entire planet and just takes a city without asking anyone. People seem to kind of want to be here even though they were taken. Clark thinks this is too good to be true, and of course it's too good to be true. He's killing people. He uses a sensitive hearing and X-ray vision to immediately discover that Zeitel is in fact Lex Luthor, or Lexi Luthor. Still has not mentioned the first name. Yep, it's Luthor, and not wearing a purple or green robe this time. It's red with yellow. That didn't see it coming if he was wearing purple. Really easy to figure out, but no, he's wearing that. So he confronts him as Superman. You know Superman, bright blue costume, red cape. That's Superman. Not to be confused with, all those other Supermen. But Luthor is ready for him. He uses electricity, because electricity here seems to be magical, like David Lynch wrote this. A Superman story written by David Lynch. It might not be good, but hell, it would be something interesting to talk about. And this hypnotizes or takes control of Superman. Lex Luthor has once again taken control of Superman. Really wish they would decide if things can take control of him or not. Like, there's so many stories where things take control of him and he breaks out of it pretty quickly, or there's stories where it doesn't work on him, and then there's a few stories where it does work on him for a while. This is one of those where it works on him for a while. So Luthor sends him out to do some things. I'm kind of unclear what exactly he's doing other than causing havoc. He stops a train at one point. He happens to run into Lois as she's about to be kidnapped and saves her, but he is forced to kidnap her and take her to Luthor. Luthor here is going to drop Lois and Clark to their death. I don't know when he had time to change back into Clark. And he activates a trapdoor. This is right when Clark regains control. The fall knocks Lois unconscious and probably should break some bones and do some permanent damage. And if he wasn't going to save her because being hypnotized or under control or whatever the hell he is, she's not going to take any permanent damage in that fall. So he becomes Superman once again, shows up to Luthor. Luthor also sends like a big green dragon at them, like in the last story with that guy had a big green dragon. This one's even less effective as it's like in 2 panels and Superman basically just hits its shins and it's over. We don't even see like what the after fight of that dragon is. This is what I'm telling you about having no time to depict any of this stuff. He's about to finally capture Lex Luthor, but Luthor reveals that he has caused the city to come crashing down. So Superman has 2 choices. He can either capture Luthor or let Luthor escape, as he has to stop the city from crashing, killing everyone in the city and possibly everyone below them, depending on where they are. Now that is a challenge worthy of Superman. And Superman, of course, lets Luthor escape and catches the city. And Superman catches the city. That is, once again, a challenge. Something improbable and kind of amazing for him to do. Not a lot's revealed about what's going to happen with the city that he's just sort of lowered onto the ground. We actually don't even see that. We just see him holding the city just above the ground. But everything is resolved and Luthor gets away again. And we have ourselves an ending and possibly a story for Clark. As I said, yeah, I like this idea. I like Superman is going to choose to save a bunch of people and push up a massively heavy city as our climax of the story versus, threatening a mobster to turn himself in or leave town forever. It feels like the Superman we know and love, not whatever the crime fighter Superman is in the 1930s and 40s. I just wish they had time to depict this stuff. Like a longer story, get that page count up. I'm pretty sure the kids would have paid for it. And that's it for Action Comics number 42, Empire City in the Sky, which is more of a cloud city, but, we're not going to call it that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? And why was Luthor disguised in the first place? Because he immediately reveals to Superman the disguise doesn't work on him. And, I don't know, he could have just lied to everyone who he was. How prominent of a figure is Luthor? Okay, have a great day.